Hello everyone, I'm SP and I guess I should consider myself to be very lucky. I'm still recovering from jet lag, and while I'm doing that, the viral gods have smiled down on me and it's made the internet a little slow for a couple of days. Aside from my epic feud with Dr. Mike, things have been pretty quiet. So I decided I'll get a little personal with you guys. I'm no longer a vegetarian. After years of the herbivore life, I've crossed over. I'll probably get into that later into the video or at the end, I'm not sure. But let's just say it was time. And speaking of herbivores, there's a certain plant-based creator I would like to talk about today. With the help of SunnyV2, yes I know, we're going to be diving into the world of Tash Peterson, a woman most people are calling worse than the vegan teacher. Remember her? So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment what you want me to cover, all that good stuff. I'm in a bit of a fallout shelter right now due to a beef, pun intended, with the hunky Dr. Mike. But once I recover from my jet lag, I'm sure KSI, Jimmy, and Logan Paul will give me something stupid to talk about. So until then, let's get into it. Alright, talking about Tash Peterson with the help of SunnyV2, let's get started.
Vegan Booty is often called the vegan teacher's daughter. She thinks walking your dog is animal abuse, has been on the news for calling horses slaves, and believes it's okay fighting butchers, service workers, and even children at their birthday party.
Alright, that's a start already. Excuse me, I have to take a drink. First off, I've never called myself vegetarian booty. I don't think I'm ever going to. Thank goodness I never have. But fighting people, walking dogs, something dogs very clearly enjoy is animal abuse, and fighting children. All right.
Government has banned her from living in her hometown, and her first viral video will start to show you why. The event scene behind her is the Million Paws Walk, where families meet to walk their dogs together and help raise funds for animals in need. Well, Vegan Booty...
And she has a problem with that.
He called the event
the most violent thing that you could ever participate in,
protesting that every animal should be treated the way that dogs are.
Why would you love one but pay for the suffering and abuse of other animals? Pigs are in fact more intelligent than dogs.
Hypocritical.
Admittedly, I've always thought about that too. That's why I was a vegetarian, because it's like I can't see myself eating cow and chicken and not eating dogs and cats and birds and well, a chicken's a bird, but and I have a pet rabbit and stuff like that. So I've always thought that was a weird paradox there, but I could see the difference, I guess.
However, Vegan Booty owned a dog herself, which she tied to a leash and used it to pull her while she skated. It's pretty funny how you are protesting, yet you have a dog pulling you. Pretty hypocritical, and the hypocrisy didn't stop there, because Vegan Booty then showed up at a charity football match, disrupting 35,000 spectators because she thought her cause was way more important. In a satisfying turn of events, she was fined $1,800 for the stunt, yet this wasn't too expensive for the exposure it provided.
Would you do it all again?
Yes, 100%.
However, at around the same time, Isaac Butterfield was going viral for his anti-vegan videos, featuring Tash in the worst vegans on TikTok.
Oh my god. Before he even gets into that, I just have to say that was one thing that always made being a vegetarian, or at least introducing myself as a vegetarian to people, very hard. Was there's all these people, vegans and vegetarians have a reputation, and I was very afraid of people seeing me as one of them. But let's get back to it.
Why is your name Vegan Booty when you're running around with that? Change your name to Vegan Pancake Ass and let us all get on with our lives.
This gave Tash a chance to respond, although she was met with a brutal dislike ratio as Isaac's audience offered their very first downvote. He'd therefore slam Vegan Booty again.
Meat's amazing, it's delicious. And guess what, bitch? I'm gonna have a big dirty steak for dinner. I hope you enjoy your broccoli, you tiny little child.
Yet with comments such as who else came from Isaac's channel, this was only helping vegan booty grow.
Yeah.
She'd use her newly found fame to launch a vegan clothing company, spoofing the anti-social social club to instead read anti-animal cruelty club. Well, Isaac then launched his own anti-vegan social club, leading vegan booty to call in heavy reinforcements. She'd discuss, is Isaac Butterfield's anti-vegan club responsible for this vegan phobia, with no one other than that vegan teacher.
Oh my god. Again, this is one of the things that made me consider leaving vegetarianism. This isn't why I ultimately left vegetarianism, but I'm not even vegan. I'm not even vegan, and this is wild. And it makes me look... God.
He literally has shirts made that say anti-vegan club.
The pair became so close that they'd call each other family.
Hi, sweetie, how are you?
Hello. Hey, Mom. How you going?
However, it was obvious vegan booty was the crazier of the two. She began infiltrating supermarkets wearing an animal onesie before standing in the milk section, dissuading shoppers from their purchase. For obvious reasons, staff weren't too happy about this, and even after being ejected, she still yelled outside the store.
Her babies are taken away from her straight after birth, and her sons are murdered.
As a result, Tash was permanently banned from Australia's two main supermarkets, yet this didn't stop her protests.
Oh my God.
As vegan booty would only get worse. She'd shop at McDonald's in a much more detailed costume, being kicked out not by staff, but instead this
By the
time
police. Jeez.
Hilariously, this guy began his own protest, countering her with a legendary sign. In vegan booty's next stunt, she walked into KFC and poured orange paint everywhere, while blasting dying animal noises for over 15 minutes. Not gonna lie.
Okay, well, before we start that, I've always hated the vindictive meat eaters. You know, I was vegetarian, and so I've met many people who would say, I'm going to go eat a steak because you're not going to eat a steak. I'll have 2 steaks because you won't have one. I've met many people. Sorry, I'm drinking soda. But I've met many people who've said that. I hate the vindictiveness because it's not necessary. You know, it's not necessary to be that vindictive. But on the other side of things, it's not necessary to be that vindictive of a vegan. So it's weird.
But you're incredibly selfish to the people that work at that place. All they're trying to do is do their job. I feel so sorry for the workers, while even other vegans called vegan booty out.
She is giving veganism a bad name.
Yeah.
People wrote about Tash's public stunts. Instead of promoting vegans, you kind of just embarrass them.
Yeah.
And nothing showed this better than her children's party meltdown.
That's even that I haven't seen it, but I can already tell it's going to be just pushing the envelope even further.
These two horses were clearly very well looked after and were waiting outside a family festival so kids could take a picture. Well, of course, vegan booty somehow thought it was abuse.
I just want to know who the slave owner is. Okay, that's disgusting. This is animal abuse.
She tried and failed to make any decent points.
If you were in her position, would you be happy?
Although vegan booty wasn't finished there. She'd then go into the festival to
gets
find
worse.
the horses again, disrupting all photos by making a public announcement.
These innocent beings are no different to our beloved dogs and cats.
They look like they're under so much stress.
This awesome dad then quickly stopped their antics.
No photos of my kids, man. Yeah, I'm not taking photos. No, we'll just keep walking that way then. Keep walking that way.
And thankfully police were there to intervene. After posting her video,
That honestly wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. He said something about fighting children. I was expecting to see her fighting children. But yeah, it wasn't as bad as I expected.
To TikTok, Tash again made national news in which they'd interview the horse's owner.
Meg Freeman owns the pony business. She says she's being bombarded with abuse by vegan protesters. Meg Freeman wants her charged.
They're like terrorists. They're not going to go away.
Well, only 1 week later, Vegan Booty announced, "I'll be going to court on the 13th of May as I received a summons for a restraining order from the owner of Ponies for All Occasions. Those who dislike me are triggered because I've made them realize that they're animal abusers. What I'm going through right now isn't a loss. It only means we're winning."
I'm always a non-violent protester and I never harass anyone.
I don't even think the vegan teacher is this crazy. This girl is making vegan teacher seem like an angel.
Yeah.
At least the vegan teacher didn't have her own number plates, as this made Vegan Booty foolishly recognizable.
Meat and cheese smeared across her.
Yeah. Okay. Before that start, the thought that crossed my mind just now is like, I would love to have my own something. I don't know, maybe Pin Man because I'm a writer, something like that, as my license plate. But that would make me very identifiable, and people are crazy, as we're about to see.
Family's car. Vegan activist Tash Peterson says this cruel joke crosses the line.
People recognized her car, then threw meat bones on her driveway, yet trolls weren't the only people who showed up at her house.
I've woken up once again to the police knocking at my door, so I've been issued with another barring notice.
Controversial vegan activist is banned from every pub in her state.
Oh my God.
After becoming notorious for wild stunts where she screams at innocent families.
Anything that sells alcohol, I'm not allowed into. A penalty of $10,000 applies if
I wonder if it is alcohol that's fueling her being so crazy.
I break this barring notice.
The ban had come after another disgusting protest.
Fishing man is 30,000 shots every hour! Animal abusers! Animal abusers! Animal abusers!
Yet Vegan Booty was still convinced that she'd done nothing wrong.
I don't really have a right to freedom of speech here in Australia. It's honestly pretty corrupt, if you ask me.
Her freedom of speech is just going to a restaurant and screaming like a lunatic about murder. There is a difference between speech and screaming. Your freedom of speech, our freedom to eat meat. Goodbye. She'd therefore leave Perth and spend a month protesting in Melbourne, but when she tried to fly back home, the government said she couldn't return.
The Australian police have banned me from entering into my own city. If I choose to fly home, I could face a 1-year imprisonment.
Her application was rejected based on her statements made in public, and after eventually having the rejection overturned, you will not believe how awful she became.
It gets worse.
She'd go back to harassing the innocent pony business before trying to ruin the life of a hard-working chef. John Mountain owns Fire Restaurant in northern Perth, where on one unassuming night,
this is a very Australian episode of my very Australian video. Yeah.
Diner made a complaint about the lack of vegan options on the menu and was charged $32 for vegetables.
Well, that's ridiculous. I'm going to say this. I really hate that some of my vegetarianism is coming back. But like, I always believe every restaurant should have vegan options. Every restaurant should have vegetarian options. You shouldn't and you shouldn't be overcharging people for a salad. I honestly have always believed that. If I was the president, that would be a law, in my opinion. I know, crazy. I know that sounds crazy.
Well, rather than bending the knee, John instead stated it is not a vegan restaurant, and if customers want vegan options, they should go elsewhere.
Which, again, yeah, I also agree with. I think we should be allowed to tell people not to. Excuse me, my camera just shut off. We should be allowed to not we shouldn't have to force people to have products for everyone. It's just the courteous thing, in my opinion.
Announcing on their Facebook page, sadly all vegans are now banned from Fire for mental health reasons. We thank you for your understanding.
All vegans are banned. End of. No more. Never again. God help them.
Everybody loved the chef's bold move, well, except for one person known as Vegan Booty. She showed up at the restaurant not just once but twice, blasting dying animal noises even after being ejected. Having disrupted his business multiple times, the chef understandably lost it, yet still took responsibility for the damage Tash had done.
And I'm sorry to say, Layla, I lost my cool, and I lost my cool because now it's really disrupting my business. And I could see the look on my customers' faces, my staff, they were all a little scared and a bit nervous, and I stormed out.
Sadly for Vegan Booty, however, her activism exploded the restaurant's popularity.
Yeah, I bet
As far as my business is concerned, I've trebled my income. I'm now, in her words, having to murder more animals because of their actions.
Unfortunately, there was a bit of a trade-off.
I lost my partner because of this. I thought I was going to marry this woman, and she just couldn't handle the amount of attention. She's a very private person.
Yet this wasn't
That's really sad.
the only marriage that Tash's TikToks ruined.
Oh god, it gets worse.
Her next target
How many times have I said that this video, it gets worse?
was, get this, the Bicton Veterinary Clinic. A business literally designed to help unwell animals, and Vegan Booty lost it over budgies out the front.
You're the type of vets that eat your own patients, are you?
Yeah, I do eat meat, but I don't eat dogs and I don't eat cats and I don't appreciate you pushing your agenda on my personal.
I don't appreciate you enslaving animals.
I have a dog in a cage out the back at the moment receiving treatment. Am I enslaving it?
Although it seems for the first time ever, Vegan Booty is actually facing consequences.
Oh, good.
Defamation action against Miss Tash Peterson, 17,700 raised. The vet was announcing, "We are launching a civil action in the Supreme Court of Western Australia, which has conveniently been running over the last 2 months. The trial has revealed that Vegan Booty hasn't only falsified her taxable income, but she's also been able to ruin another marriage. This might explain why Fi is also suing Tash.
This is going to teach her a lesson. If she's fined that amount of money, she's going to think twice.
And while she's always stated,
I actually measure my own success by the amount of haters and criticism that I have.
it seems penalty after penalty is finally taking its toll. Her public nuisance stunts are becoming far less frequent, as most of her content now focuses on street interviews.
Do you have a moral justification for animal abuse?
Yummy.
Vegan Booty will likely never change, but maybe she's reached a decent middle ground that's respectful not just to animals, but people's lives as well.
Yeah, okay. Well, that... I mean, from the sounds of it, the consequences of her actions seem to be teaching her a lesson. But at the same time, she's doing it all wrong. I believe there's such thing as I believe in flexitarianism. As an ex-vegetarian, I'm not going to completely just have meat with every meal. I'm going to be a flexitarian, and what that means is I'm going to have meat every now and then, or vegetable substitute for meat every now and then, and stuff like that. But like, and this goes to all vegans out there who are as crazy as she is. It makes us all look weird. It just does. But at the same time, I really do always want to ask the question, what's the difference between a cow and a dog? A lot of people don't have an answer for the difference between a cow and a dog. So it's oh my god, this one hits close to home. I know I wanted this to be a more relaxed video, but it hits close to home because I really do care about animals. I mean, I went and got a rabbit because I didn't want to feed an animal to an animal. That's why I couldn't get a dog. That's why I couldn't get a cat. I had to get a rabbit. And he's over there wanting some attention. I guess I'll go now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.